Let's take a look at how we calculate concentration from pH or pOH and how we can combine this all together. So if we want to know the concentration of our H3O+, and we know the concentration of our pH, then we can use this equation here. So we want to find the concentration of H3O+ in molarity. It's equal to 10 to the negative pH. Concentration of OH- is going to be equal to 10 to the negative pOH. If we wanted to look at K value, we could look at 10 to the negative pK. So we're going to combine this with our previous equations of, remember, pH is equal to negative log of H3O+, pOH equals negative log OH-, and pH plus pOH equals 14. So we're going to use these equations to solve in this table here. So the first one that I'm going to look at is I have a pH of 2.34. So I'm going to use this equation here because I want to know the pOH and I also want to know those concentrations. You can start in a variety of different ways for this, but I'm going to just plug in my pH for the 2.34 here. So 2.34 plus pOH is going to be equal to 14. So the pOH that I have is going to be 14 minus my 2.34. So I'm going to get my pOH is going to be equal to 11.66. Now I want to find my H3O+ concentration here. I have my pH, so I'm going to go, it's going to be 10 to the negative 2.34. So I'm going to use my calculator to calculate out. So I have to, I'm going to get my, so I can write that either in decimal or I can write it in the scientific notation. I'm going to get 0.00457 molar. So this could also be written as 4.57 times 10 to the negative third molar. I'm going to do the same thing over here for my hydroxide. So the hydroxide, it's going to be 10 to the negative pOH. So I'm going to have my pOH is 11.66. So do make sure that you're careful about it being that negative exponent. That one I'm going to do in scientific notation because it makes more sense that way. It's going to be 2.188 times 10 to the negative 12th molar. So this is where you need to really practice with your calculations in your calculator. I suggest that you go through and see, can you finish the rest of this table? What would your pOH be for this value? So as a hint, if you're going to be finding your pOH, you're going to be using this formula right here. Once you find that pOH, you can use your pH plus pOH equation to get your pH, and then you can use your pH, your H3O+ equals 10 to the negative pH. So the challenge with these is figuring out which of these equations you're going to use. Are you working with a pOH? Are you working with a pH? What is the problem looking for? So do make sure that you review these and that you really practice it a lot. Make sure that your values make sense, that your pHs and your pOHs are somewhere between 1 and 14 for the most part. They should, have some internal sense. Okay. So make sure and practice and keep track of your units and your which formula you are working with.